Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, we're coming in on this Friday. We've been waiting for Friday because today is when Andrew Clyde, Congressman Andrew Clyde, is going to call in, hopefully, and update us on all the crap going on in Washington, D.C. What do you think about that, Pat Malone?
Well put, Stephen.
Yeah.
It is all that, what you said. Yeah.
I guarantee you that, man. I guarantee you that. I'm ready to hear it. He's been running around with, he's been hanging out with Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and you've seen him. He actually was on a, what was it, Newsmax or one of them the other day. They was doing an interview with him, I seen.
Well, now we'll get him, and we'll get him straightened out after he's been with Musk and the rest of the crazies.
What are you crazies? Elon Musk? Are you like AOC? Do you think Elon Musk is a dummy? I mean, she's like,
no, did I say dummy?
You did. You said crazy.
I said crazy. I mean,
man.
who thought you could eliminate $2 trillion out of a $6 trillion budget? Huh?
I think
Elon Musk thinks that you can do that. And he started wrecking things.
Wrecking things?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Wrecking
the USAID? He wrecked that, didn't he?
I'm glad he did.
Well, I didn't say I'm not happy that he did it.
I mean, golly, man. You act like you're in support of USAID.
I am. I think there is a segment of that that's legitimate and needed.
Yeah.
But I do agree the bulk of it probably needs to go, and the only way to get people to pay attention to it is to wreck it. So,
well, here's the
I don't
thing.
have a problem.
I mean, you've got all these nonprofits that can do the same thing they're doing, that raise money from people that actually want to give. Do you not?
Well, that you're talking about, that's the way America used to be.
Well, I mean, why can't we go back to the good parts and leave out the bad parts? So let's just go away with it and then let some of these people that like. Well, Benjamin Van Hook, he's up there in Western North Carolina supporting these folks as hard as he can. And he's not doing it through government funding. He's doing it through local churches and people like me, not like you, because you don't give nothing to nobody, but that donate and send food and send help. And that's kind of where it comes from. And that's a whole lot better than government. And like the Democrats, we call it USAID. They call it USAID. So it's Democrat USAID. And yeah, I'm all about, and they're also up. It's funny. You was talking about the guy on before. They've got that ball going on over here.
Yeah. The CBs.
Yeah. And the left is outraged over Musk. He hired a 19-year-old to work with Doge. You've been following that?
No.
Oh, you have?
I know all the Doge people are young people, either still in college or just out of college. I think it was 19 to 26-year-olds.
Yeah, this guy's not. Everybody's upset about. He's only 19.
Why is he upset? Why are they upset about that?
Because he's 19 years old. They say, "Oh, he's not qualified. He's not qualified." But yet, look at the people that the Biden administration had in their.
Can he add and subtract?
Hey, he goes by the name Big Ball, so I think he's probably. Yeah.
Okay, he can add and subtract. That's all we need to know.
With a name like Cat Turd and Big Balls, I'm all with it, man. I think he's gonna be all right. Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you think?
Well, wait a minute. What was this stuff about I give, but Malone doesn't give?
You don't do nothing, man.
I
all you
know.
do is protest. You just protest.
You were so nice up until you said that, but then you slipped back into old Stephen.
Yeah.
Evil Stephen.
I ain't changed a bit, man.
Evil Stephen rises again.
Changed a bit. I mean, I've got some of this stuff where he's cut they had like 3,000 employees. He's cut it down to like 300,
Well, remember, that's the stuff that, like the stuff that Musk did when he bought X.
And I'm hoping,
remember that story?
Yeah.
X had like 3 database backups.
And how many people are working there now? Like 2?
Well, he went in there and with pliers apparently cut the cables on one of them to force people to work with just 2.
And let me ask you something: is Doge still on? I mean, is X? Is it still in operation?
I believe it is.
I believe it is.
I believe it is.
Oh, I got this thing across the teletype machine this morning. You know, and this is a local thing. The TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority.
Yes.
That the president has 10,000 or 10,500,000 or $10.5 million salary. Is that true?
Probably.
Are you kidding me?
Why?
I would like to. That's a lot of money, man.
But it's the okay, yeah, sure it is a lot of money, but it's a lot of responsibility. How many states does the TVA cover?
I think they ought to privatize it. I hope that Trump privatizes the Tennessee Valley Authority. I think they need to privatize it.
How would that be different than what it is now? It's just a
Oh,
quasi.
yeah,
It's just a
Let's see.
quasi government authority now.
Okay, so you're equating that. Okay, so hang on. So you're saying that it corresponds to the amount of responsibility, right? The
Yeah.
salary. Okay, so
Yeah.
would you say that he would have the most responsibility out of any employee in the federal government?
He's not in the federal government to start off with.
He is a paid federal employee.
Yeah, he
No,
is.
he's not.
Yes, he is.
Jeff Lyish. Jeff Lyish, is he a paid?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to go there? Because he is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you might want to look it up because
The
he is.
TVA is a quasi government authority, not a government. It's not a function of the government. It's a quasi.
Wait a minute. What is USAID? Is that a quasi too, or is
No, that's a department of the government.
Well, I think we need to work on these quasis bunch too. Don't you think?
Well, I think we ought to clean up the direct ones first. But what's the problem with him making that kind of money when he's got that kind of authority?
It says TVA.gov, and it says, yes, the Tennessee Valley Authority is a federal agency. And going back to what I was asking you, Pat, if it corresponds to the amount of responsibility, then he should have the most responsibility of any federal official because he is the highest paid employee of the federal government of the United States. Jeff Lyish at $10.5 million.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they wasteful, man. They're wasteful, and they won't leave our lakes up.
Oh, there comes the real issue. Now we got it. It's a water issue. It's got nothing to do with supplying electricity to millions of people throughout the valley. I
just can't believe
I need my lake full.
Yeah, I do. I got a little bit of. Yeah. Let's see. Where was it that?
So what's the problem?
What's the problem?
Yeah.
We're having to pay that. It's like property tax and all that stuff they charge you with. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man.
The $10 million that he gets in salary or compensation total, because it's probably not in salary.
It still adds up.
What's it? It's a drop. What's the total revenue of the TVA? It's a drop in a bucket.
I thought the TVA was actually a membership deal. Is it not?
No.
Oh, it's not.
That's
so why are we
EMC is a membership
You're
deal.
right. You're right. I'm wrong about that.
Has to have an M in it to be a membership deal.
Oh, there you go. I say let's can them, privatize them, save some money. But anyway, hopefully we'll have.
Okay, Jeff, if you want to keep your job, put some more water in Lake Chattooga and Stephen will shut up because he only cares about himself.
I'm worried about the people too. And
listen, he calls him Jeff. He knows him by name. That's why he's sticking up for his salary.
Oh, you call him Jeff?
Oh, Jeff.
You know Jeff by name?
Hey, Jeff.
We've met.
Let me have his number. I need to talk.
See, they probably live in.
No. There are some things I will share with you, but that's not one of them.
Yeah, man, old Jeffy boy.
They probably hang out in the same country club and go play racquetball in the evenings.
He's in my gated community.
Yeah, you know, when I was on the board there at the EMC, that guy that represents Jeff or whoever it was, I worked on him pretty hard. I ain't kidding you, man. I stayed on him all the time. It got to the point where like, he's no longer taking your calls. I'm like, come on, man. Are you kidding?
That's why they threw you off the board, right?
They're like, yeah, that's it. They're like, we want our counties around our lakes to do good, but you know, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do the other. But anyway,
hopefully they got tired of that one-man show about the lake level in Lake Chattooga.
Hey, it ain't one man. It ain't one man. Oh, let's see here. What else we got here? Anyway, let's go ahead and get to a break. Hopefully we get Andrew Clyde in here shortly. And
hey, phone lines are open if you guys like to call in and
we
win
got some
in our love song karaoke contest. Got some great prize packages that you can win for Valentine's Day. That way you can get out of buying your sweet thing of gifts. So you can call 706-379-9770 to sing Love Song Karaoke. Get your name in the hat. See if you win.
We're going to do that after the break.
Phone lines are open now.
All right, let's do that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All righty, we're back with you, folks. Hopefully here in a little while we'll have Andrew Clyde calling in. Argentina, I reckon.
Hey, wait.
What?
Before you get on to the next subject, the TVA is a federally owned utility that supplies electricity to its customers. It's not funded by any taxpayer dollars. It's funded by its customers.
Okay, so y'all customers, just remember the president of that thing, the head honcho, is making $10.5 million. Think about that when your power bill comes in for $700-800 when you ain't done nothing but run your microwave.
Okay, well, you know what? Well, here's something else you need to think about.
What?
When you go to Ingalls, remember that the CEO of Ingalls is making millions of dollars too when you spend your hard-earned money at Ingalls.
Let me ask you a question.
But that's spread over a lot,
Stephen.
man.
I got a question for you. Does the TVA receive grants from the federal government?
It does, just like every utility in the United States.
Just like Ingalls?
It applies. Yes, like Ingalls too.
Ingalls receive a grant? Do they
yes.
grant money?
Yes.
Does Aldi? Who gets it? Who does Aldi or Ingalls get it more?
Who does? I don't.
They receive
Aldi's a
tax
German
money if they
company.
receive grants.
And
I'm sure they got a bunch of little buddies in there that'll be like, "Oh, here's a grant for you."
Yeah.
USAID, we can funnel it through them.
Yeah, not anymore they can't. Yeah,
you guys would be good. You'd have good ideas if you understood how things worked.
I do understand.
Yeah.
You said verbatim, they do not receive taxpayer money.
The highest paid federal employee.
How much is Trump making?
400,000.
He's not taking his money again, dude.
Wait a minute.
That's what his salary is.
Pat, he is the highest paid federal employee. Jeff Lyish is the highest paid federal employee.
$10.5 million, and they don't get government money, but they get government grants.
It's only because the government owns the utility that he works for.
Well, why does the government own the utility?
Because there was no electricity in the Tennessee Valley Authority back in the 30s when they were trying to develop the atomic bomb and needed electricity. So it was a government project.
Yes, it was. And now that the government project's done, let's privatize it, reduce the cost, and I think them guys can make $50,000.
I don't understand, Stephen. What would change if they privatized it? Jeff Lyish should still be getting $10.5 million.
I would say he would be fired on the spot. Yeah.
By who?
Elon Musk.
What if they privatized it? What would Elon Musk have to do with it?
You're telling me that the government.
Wait a minute. Answer my questions. Don't divert the.
Okay, what's the question?
If they sell the TVA, if they privatize it,
right?
What would Elon Musk have to do with firing or hiring Jeff Lyish?
I said that as a ha-ha, but okay, that was a ha-ha.
Most of your stuff is a ha-ha.
Oh, just wait a minute. So you're telling me the government is more efficient than private companies?
Is there electricity widespread in the Tennessee Valley?
Let me ask you a question.
Is there electricity widespread in the Tennessee Valley?
There is.
And how did that get there?
Because we had to build the bomb.
Okay.
The federal
government. Your answer to your question is the government more efficient than private business? In some cases, yes.
Okay, but you're saying that it's not a federal. You're saying that it's not federal and it's more private than it is federal. You just made the point, Pat. You just said
it's a federally owned utility. I started that from that point.
So you're saying the government can run businesses better than private people than the private.
I am saying in some cases, history says yes.
Name one.
The TVA.
Are you kidding me? That's the hill you're going to die on.
In what private business was supplying electricity in the Tennessee Valley in the 30s?
What now?
What private utility was supplying electricity in the Tennessee Valley in the 1930s.
Okay, so the government comes in and supplies electricity to us, and it ruined our lifestyle. We didn't need electricity back then, man. We didn't need all that. Now we got TVs, we got woke going on. We didn't have no power, we wouldn't have none of that. We wouldn't have none of that. The government screwed us over.
That's a ha-ha, right? That's not. This is how the conversation goes. Just about the time we get into serious discussions about things,
they built this.
Ha-ha.
They built this because of the bomb, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it wasn't for that, we still wouldn't have power, right?
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for your mother and daddy, we wouldn't have you either.
Oh, is that a ha-ha?
No, that's a serious.
We're trying to have a serious conversation here.
That makes as much as the sense as what you just said.
So you don't think like Georgia Power would have eventually brought power to this area?
Yeah, and Georgia Power would have been a Japanese-owned company or a German-owned company because we would have been a subsidiary of Germany or Japan.
Are you kidding? We had patent. I just think you're wrong, man. I don't think government in any shape, form, or fashion is better than private enterprise. Well, we got comments up there, Pat.
We do. You want us to start reading them? We got about 50 of them.
Good Lord. Yeah. Put them up there.
All right, here. Good morning to Kim Dwyer listening to us. Rebel Boy, always listening to us. Appreciate you, man. Pat is a rhino, and it shows more and more every day. Kim Dwyer said, I think Pat, wants to be on the correct side. MAGA, but he's scared.
Oh,
come over, Pat.
Yeah, come on over to the country.
Here, I'm gonna get you a little like a doll, and you could pet it and be like, "Orange man, good. Orange man, good."
So if Stephen is the epitome of the MAGA side, I'm not coming over.
Come over, Pat.
I can't get that.
What else we got?
Sorry, a lot of weird mental imagery going on there. Let's see. Kim Dwyer says, we will welcome one delusional Democrat at a time. And then we've got Kim, I bet he's afraid, too, because he would hurt poor little Larry Vaughn's feelings.
Harry Vaughn.
Let's see here. Jason Lynn, no need to privatize TVA. They tell us, people, states, when they will raise and lower lake levels according to their schedules.
Yeah, we got to go because that's the way we always done it.
Lake's full here. Money flows here.
There you go. You're right about that.
Maybe his salary should be adjusted with the lake level. Good idea. Drew Vogel, USAID, thinks they don't have a governing body. That's how we got here. Now that Daddy Trump is back home, everyone is back to behaving.
Oh, Daddy Trump. Say it, Pat.
Call him Daddy, Pat.
Come on, Dad.
Call him Daddy.
Daddy.
President Daddy.
I
know one man I'm tired of, and that's Harry Vaughn.
Oh, bless his heart.
Stop filing with
who the heck? Wait a minute, back up. Who's Larry Vaughn?
It's his. I guess it's Harry's evil twin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And customers pay taxes. Duh, Pat.
Whoa, what does that mean?
I don't know, but duh, Pat. I'm with him. Yeah. Packy, on the Fed departments being dissolved, has anyone heard about the Department of Natural Resources or Forestry Division? I think we should turn both of those back over to Native Americans.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we'd have casinos everywhere then. I'm up for that.
Jason Lynn, I'm with you, bro. Let the natives take care of game and fish in each state. The corrupt government, Democrats, is what's wrong with our country. I agree, Rebel Boy. Jason Lenz says, get Stephen to lobby for TVA for a grant to have public fishing access docks and ramps next to the bridges near lakes and rivers. We need more open public access for people to get to water.
I'm against that. Don't get federal funding. Don't do all that grant stuff. Just go buy your dang boat. If you want to fish, go buy your boat.
And there's CB. I agree, brother. In the Fed. What do you think about that, Pat?
What is it?
In the Fed?
Yeah. Thank God for Elon, because he is bringing the swamp creatures out into the light to show who is the most corrupt. Drew Vogel, Pat, are you serious? You're talking about something from the 30s? Bring up something more recent. The government is not efficient. You're forcing the yes. Adam Price, Germany couldn't even beat the Slavs.
Yeah. I like a Mercedes, though.
And then Amy, the government puts us in a position we're in now. Regardless of power, no power, they are trying to destroy us.
Yeah, I reckon Argentina has pulled out of the World Health Organization following Trump. I'm cool with that. What do you think?
Oh, I'm always interested in what Argentina's doing.
Well,
because,
everybody's
you
kind
know,
of
they're
pulling out of that.
one of the leading countries out there that we should pay attention to.
And I'm going to tell you something else, man. The World Health Organization is upset. They're upset. They're actually warning that Trump's funding cuts may delay release on new pandemic. So they're having a problem getting the pandemic out now that they ain't got the money to fund it.
I figured you'd be all for Argentina being a leading country. Pat, they won the World Cup last time.
Yeah, they
Well, they are a leading country in terms of football.
Football. Soccer, ain't it? What are you pointing at, Pat?
Brad Allwine. Oh, did I forget to mention that they canceled Pride Month? LOL. About time people with mental stability took the power back. Now it's time to reopen mental institutions.
You know, here's the thing. They're talking about all this stuff being canceled, you know, Pride Month and all that nonsense. How do you feel about that? I mean, is that a real thing? I mean, I hadn't really found out, but they're talking about canceling all this month stuff, Pride Month, Black History Month and all that. Is there anything to that?
So you're reporting it, but you haven't found out whether or not it's real.
I'm asking you. I'm not reporting it. I'm just asking
you. Well, you reported it yesterday.
I never did.
That was the lead that you started with, that all the ethnic months were gone.
Oh, maybe I did. Listen,
yeah. That was a ha-ha again, too, wasn't it?
How about let's just have a 4th of July and be done with it, and everybody just be Americans, regardless of what color.
That would be really a good idea.
I mean, honestly, you know, and just, you know, I mean, because everybody has got ancestors over the years, black, white, green, or red, or yellow. Y'all got any green ones? I ain't got no green ones, but
the Irish ones are green.
Actually accomplished stuff, but you know,
according to MSNBC, yes, federal agencies have barred Black History Month and other special observances.
Right.
No celebrations related to MLK Day, Women's History Month, and other such observances to comply with Trump's executive orders.
Well, those awareness months are not designed for celebrations.
Well, it has been.
They're designed to raise awareness. Period. So I don't think there should be. I mean, if people want to have private celebrations, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the government shouldn't be organizing celebrations. They should be working.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. They should be working. Yeah, no argument here. Yeah,
okay.
But working.
So I don't have a problem with they didn't actually cancel Black History Month.
Right.
It's still Black History Month. They're just canceling the celebrations that go along with it.
But you know, I can appreciate all the stuff that has been accomplished through white people, black people, all of them. I'm good with some of that. Not too much George Floyd, but the real ones that I consider, you know, what was that NASCAR driver? What was his name? I like that dude. What was his name? The NASCAR driver. I mean, he was cool.
The one that kept crashing into people that couldn't drive worth a flip?
No, back in the day.
Back in the day. I can't go back in history. I can't go back to the 30s. I have to get current.
Wendell Scott, man. Wendell Scott. He rocked and rolled, man. You don't remember Wendell Scott?
That was Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I like Richard Pryor too, man. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Anyway, we got to get to break. Hopefully we got Andrew Clyde. Wow, we're going to take a break, folks, and we'll be right back. I think we got Andrew Clyde on. All righty, folks, we're back with you. We've been patiently waiting. We have got Congressman Andrew Clyde on with us. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning, y'all. Great to be on the WGRB.
Man, you have been busy and a lot going on, and we have been, the Democrats call it USAID, but the USAID is going down in flames, not to mention that the men and women are only one allowed in their sports that they're actually born with. Tell us what's going on, what we're missing out on.
Well, I tell you what, that has been some of the very exciting things that have been happening up here in Washington, D.C. You know, I want folks to know there's been a lot of Democrat attention on Doge right now. They're trying to trash them and trying to burn them as much as they can. The entire purpose of Doge is to bring to light what is happening. You know, people say that Elon Musk is not an employee of the federal government. That's actually not true. Elon Musk is a special government employee under the authority of 18 U.S. Code. And that allows him to work for 130 days on per calendar year. Okay, so he is definitely a government employee, but Doge doesn't have the authority to turn off or terminate any payments. What they do is they simply bring to light, line by line, going through every expenditure in the Treasury Department, line by line, to see where the money has actually gone, or where it's in, or where they're planning to send it. And that is a beautiful thing. You know, President Trump promised transparency in government, and that's exactly what he's giving to the American people. Another promise made, another promise kept. So we as American citizens get to see exactly where the money is going. And it has been shocking to see how the government has been just absolutely wasting our money. $40 billion has gone to USAID. And you know, when you said the Democrats call it us AID, well, that's exactly right.
Right.
The money basically goes to them, all right?
Yeah.
And to their priorities. I mean, just some of these things. You know, $20 million to Iraqi Sesame Street. Seriously?
I'm with you. I could be okay with they did that with Smokey and the Bandit or something like that over there, but not Sesame Street. I mean, come on. I thought $10 million was spent on creating transgender mice, rats, and monkeys. Is that true?
Yes. How do you do that? I mean, with a straight face and you know, and sincerity, how do you spend any money on that sort of stuff? I just, you know, that's Democrats simply off their rocker, no common sense. So that money has been terminated by the people that have the legal authority to terminate that, and
Right.
that's the president, you know, and his cabinet. Those are the folks that are doing the actual work that Doge is bringing to light, and that's the whole point of it right there. And it's an amazing thing. It should give all Americans, you know, all Americans that have common sense, it should give all Americans some encouragement and some just feeling that we're on the right track now.
I mean, and you know, some people, I ain't gonna call no names, is worried about these folks. Oh, they've lost their jobs. What are they gonna do now? I'm like, I don't even care. They can go to work at McDonald's. I mean, they're not doing anything, so let them rip. Please tell me that the IRS is next.
Oh, believe me, it will be every solitary branch of the government. You know, Elon Musk and President Trump said that this will be, Doge is the gift, the 250th anniversary gift to the United States. And so they've got a deadline, and it's going to happen 2026. On July the 4th, they will terminate Doge, but by that time, they will have gone through every solitary line item of the federal government and its expenditures and brought everything to light. So you are going to continue to see this win after win after win of fraud, waste, tremendous waste, and abuse being brought to light and being terminated by the Trump administration. I mean, you know, Elon said that they could do, that they could expose over $1 trillion, is his belief, of fraudulent, wasteful spending. I believe him.
Yeah.
You know, and that's going to help us in Congress get back to a balanced budget, get back to spending only the money that we actually have received in revenue, in eliminating our deficit and starting to actually pay down our national debt. Otherwise, we will be in serious financial trouble in just the next few years.
You know, it's amazing to me, though. You got like Chuck Schumer and all his bunch. So they're mad at Elon Musk for exposing the corruption and all the abuse. And they're, you know, it looks like they'd be more mad about the abuse of government. Of course, I guess they're the ones that's doing it. But
right, they're the ones that's doing it.
Right.
Andrew, I have a question about reducing the deficit, start paying that down. If we're proposing no tax on tips, no tax on overtime pay, and no tax on Social Security benefits, first of all, what's the justification for doing that?
Well, it was one of President Trump's promises to the American people, and they in turn elected him. They want him to do that. I guess that's the justification right there. Now, I will tell you, in addition, you will also have the extension of the tax cuts in the TCJA, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 that President Trump and the Republicans passed and was signed into law back in his first term. So you have a substantial number of tax cuts that we are working on right now, and that's what we're doing in budget reconciliation. We've been all week working on the framework of it, trying to get it so that it actually does balance, because there is a cost to tax cuts, as I'm sure you are about to tell me. Okay. And so therefore we have to offset that with spending cuts. And that's what we're working on, actually cutting spending, not reducing an increase, which, only in Washington do they call that a cut. That's not what I'm talking about. Actually making substantial cuts to federal spending over a 10-year period.
Andrew, we need $1.7 trillion worth of cuts to balance the budget at our current revenue rate. With these proposals, the revenue generation is going to go down.
Well, that's true in one respect, but then we also have to cut spending in the same way. Now, this is the thing. When you have tax cuts like that, it does generate economic activity. We're expecting the GDP, the gross domestic product, which has been growing at about 1.8%, okay, under Biden. We expect that under Trump, like what happened in his first term, to increase to 2.6, 2.8, maybe 3%. For every 1% of gross domestic product growth, you actually will generate about $3.3 trillion of tax revenue. Not because taxes have been increased, they haven't. They've actually been cut, but because of economic growth, of companies coming back to the United States, of more people being employed, of more production occurring. That generates revenue for the federal government. And that's, it's got to be a balance of tax cuts and revenue generation through economic growth that will actually bring us out of this depth of continued deficit spending, which I abhor and have continuously voted against.
So you're telling us if the government gets out of the way, things might get better?
Oh, no. That ain't what he's saying. That ain't what he's saying at all.
You know what? I will say, Andrew, Trump's wrong. He was wrong about one thing. He's talking about the campaign trail. See, I really want to touch on this because he said that we would get tired of winning. And I'm just not tired of it yet. Yeah. Are you tired of it yet?
I'm not. I'm just not tired of winning. I don't know if I'll ever get tired of winning, I don't think so.
I've been following you pretty hard on social media, man. You hanging out with some big dogs, man. I'm telling you, looking good out there, no doubt. Yeah, looking good.
Well, it's an honor to serve the folks of the 9th District, and I tell you what, when you have good connections, you can accomplish good things.
But that's the thing. You look at the Democrats' USAID, all the spending going on with that, and that's just one department that there's how many more they're looking at. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot more exposed, a lot more wasteful spending. Do you not think?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. And they will go through the entire budget department by department. And, here, this is in the State Department and spending for, United States government tax dollars. Well, actually, citizen tax dollars.
Right.
Okay. Going overseas. I mean, if you think about it, I was on a radio program just a few minutes ago down in Clarksville, and there's 2,100 people in Clarksville. If the average, is $10,000 of taxes paid per person, that's $21 million. That doesn't even cover what we have seen just in a few lines of expenditures from USAID. I mean, it blows my mind when I think about how many people it takes to actually cover this kind of wasteful spending.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, these grants, that's something I harp on. We get a lot of government grants. Why can't we say, look, we're in a bad spot here. We're going to have to cut all this stuff out for a while. Let's slow down on our grants and some more of that stuff. I mean, I guess grants is good, but it's still taxpayers' money going out the door.
It is. And we have to take a very hard look at exactly what that grant is for, right, and make a decision. Well, number one, there are some places that go to multiple government agencies and get a grant for the same thing.
Right.
And that's a problem. Okay. So that's the first thing that they're going to look at. And then they're going to look at what's the grant actually for, and can we afford it? We're in deficit spending right now, which means that we are continuing to borrow more and more and more money. At some point, we have got, and that point is now, all right? We have got to be looking at our spending saying, is this a constitutional expenditure? Is the federal government authorized under the Constitution to make this kind of payment or to engage in this kind of activity? You know, the federal government does not have unlimited authority, and you don't want it to have unlimited authority.
Right.
It is constrained by the states that created the Constitution and gave it limited power, and we have to stay within those limits, or we will not have a true representative government.
Well, that's it. I mean, we ain't got the money to do it. We can't. Sorry. I mean, you know, that's the way it is at the house. I'd like to have some that fine ham, you know, but I'm having to eat bologna because all this taxes I'm having to pay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
you got it, gentlemen.
What else you got going on before we got to go? You got anything coming up?
Well, I will tell you that I talked a little bit about budget reconciliation, and we passed the fentanyl bill up here. You know, that's been a huge problem,
right?
Not just in the southern border, but in our state as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had parents come to my office and show me pictures of their child who has died of fentanyl poisoning, and that's a major issue here. You know, over 100,000 Americans have died annually. Over 70,000 specifically due to fentanyl. I mean, that's more than died in 10 years in the Vietnam War.
Wow.
So fentanyl is an incredibly dangerous substance, you know, 50 times more powerful than heroin. And it's a poison, and it's being, you know, marketed in pills that look like candy. It's so dangerous. And that is a bill that we passed in the House. I hope it goes over to the Senate, gets passed, and the president signs it into law. But that will help us control and eliminate fentanyl coming into this country. But, you know, the secure border will also go a tremendous way to fix that, too. You know, we can stop illegals from coming across our border. We can stop them from their backpacks and their fentanyl from coming across the border, too.
You know, that's a big thing. And I just wonder how many people's hands are out in this drug war. You know, I've actually got a friend of mine, Roger Reeves. You probably never heard of him, but he was involved pretty heavy with the drug smuggling back in the day with all that went on. And some of the stuff that he talks about where he was actually there with some of the politicians, and I'm not going to talk too much and call them out, but anyway, one's from Arkansas that actually took money from him to turn a blind eye. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those people need to be prosecuted and thrown in jail.
Yeah,
because you know that's criminal behavior, and it must be. Those people must be held accountable.
I think we saw that.
People.
We saw that, like how much it's infected the government, and we saw who. Is there any word on who leaked the information about the ICE raid?
No, not that I'm aware of. I'll tell you this though: we are making a huge dent in the cartels, in the amount of money that they're bringing in, with the reduction of people that are coming across the border, and the reduction of drugs that are coming, you know, that aren't now coming with them.
Right.
So that is having a huge impact on the cartels, and they're trying every other method they can, you know, now from the Bahamas to come into Florida, to get people and to get their drugs and to earn money. Right. From those who are being taken illegally into the country. So no, it's a massive problem that the president is addressing head on. I love Tom Homan. What an amazing guy! And he said, you know, for all these sanctuary cities that plan on harboring these illegals, well, that's a federal felony.
Yeah, we got to go, man. I don't want to, but I want to talk to you more. But I know one thing. I wouldn't want to make Tom Homan mad at me. I'll just tell you that right now. That's what them guys just kind of walk softly. But
he carries a really big stick.
There you go. Hey, Andrew, Congressman Andrew Clyde, we sure do appreciate you calling in, man. We do, and we support you. And keep up the good work.
Thank you. Great to be with you guys.
All right.
Take care. Andrew. Bye-bye.
All right. We got to take a break. Always good to talk to Andrew Clyde. All righty, we're back with you, folks. Hope everybody's doing good. Always love to have Andrew Clyde on with us, no doubt, even though Pat Malone tries to get him tongue-tied, like, how are we going to pay for all this junk we don't need? That was your
didn't try to get him tongue-tied. You asked me to ask him questions that made sense, as opposed to the ha-ha stuff that you do. So
how come you ask him serious questions on our show, but on your show, when you get these local in, you're like, oh, what's your favorite ice cream? What's your favorite color?
Oh, I guess because I'm just a rhino wussy.
Oh, did you record that, Pat?
How's that?
That's good. We got any good comments
I am surprised, Stephen,
what?
That everyone is shocked by the stuff coming out about USAID, all the crap that's being funded.
You're amazed at that?
I'm surprised that people are surprised.
Yeah, I know it. And the funny thing about it, Democrat USAID, they're all upset about that. We're out of time, man. We're out of time.
We did well, huh?
Hey, we want to thank Bannister Cooper Funeral Home and Georgia Mountain Grading, no doubt. Yeah, the weekend's here. We'll be back Monday bright and early, man. We appreciate everybody. And everybody that's commented, give us a thumbs up on our YouTube channel. It sure does help you give us a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you hadn't yet. Big thanks to Andrew Clyde for calling in today. Pat Malone, we love you, man, regardless of what everybody says about you.
See you, man.
All right, y'all take care.
2249 DP and WJULAM, Hiawassee.
Well, look at here. Guess who's number one in the Nielsen ratings again?
97.7.